So, how to install the Python? Are you aware of that? Can I tell you how to
Yeah,
install the Python?
Yeah, we
You
installed
already
6.3.
okay. Okay. Sisu, what about you? Do you know how to install the Python? Okay. Already you are installed, right? Okay. Okay. So, how many ways have you practiced that? I can tell you. So, see here. So, you can practice your either an ideally integrated development learning environment or command line prompt. Right? You can practice here either in this way command line prompt or IDE, or you can type your code either notepad plus plus. You can directly run that either in the IDE or your command prompt. How to this? I can show you total these ways. See here, first IDE. Directly you can type your code here. Suppose print hello code. See here. When you run it,
first we have to
so hello Python. In the same way, you can write here also. Print hello. So this is the way. So you can go to particular Python command prompt, or I can show you. Click on run, right? CMD. So this is your command prompt and type. So where is your Python is there? Where is your path available in our environment variable? So you can first go to that, right click on it, properties, advanced system settings, advanced, and go click on the environment variable, click on Python. Where is your Python available here? Here. Edit. So your variable name is Python, variable value is C:/Python 27.
So 1 minute,
Correct?
sir. నాకు చెప్తానే ఉన్నాడు కదా, నన్ను అడిగి నేను నాకు వస్తుంది
screen.
తెలియకే కదా అడిగింది. ఒక నిమిషం.
Hello?
Sir, could you
Yes.
please repeat once how to?
So how to check the environment variable? One second.
Yeah.
So you can go to that, either you can practice IDE or this command prompt. You can click on that particular area, directly it will open the Python prompt, right? If you don't know how to do this, go to the run and click on the CMD, click when you click enter it, so it will display the command prompt. So in this command prompt, where is your path? You should identify that. If you want to identify that, go to the PC, right click on it, properties, click on advanced system settings. Suppose if you have any administration, you give your password, click on advanced. Into that we have environment variables. Click on environment variables. So in the system variables, identify the is available or not. If it is available, okay. If not, you can write it. Or at the time of installation of software, you can give the local path. See here, Python already available. So your variable name is Python. Where is it available? Under C drive, we have a Python 2.7, your version number. So already available. If not, you can write it. Now it is available.
సార్
So go
we
to
have to new.
చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఇక్కడ ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ వేరియబుల్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళాము. ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ సార్?
ఇక్కడ సిస్టమ్ వేరియబుల్స్. So first
System.
one user variables for Pradeep and second part is system variables, right? Under this we have Python.
పైథాన్ లేదు సార్ నా దాంట్లో.
అది యాడ్ చేసుకోండి.
లేకపోతే మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే మీరు అట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ క్రియేషన్ అప్పుడన్నా లైబ్రరీ లోకల్ వేరియబుల్ ఇచ్చుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే లోకల్ సిస్టమ్ లో మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి. లేదు అంటే మనం ఇక్కడ వేరియబుల్ నేమ్ వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వాల్సి వస్తుంది.
ఓకే, న్యూ
ఎలా ఇవ్వాలంటే చూపిస్తాను చూడండి. See here how to give variable name and variable value. So variable name is Python and variable values, go to the C drive. See here C:\Python 2.7. Under this we have a execution file python.exe. So that's why you can copy it and paste here. That is the path. Okay. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So you can give that path. Where is the Python is available? Under our local drive, we have Python 27. Under this, we have a python.exe file. So where it is available, that is the path. So you can copy it and paste under the environment variable. The variable name is Python. The variable value is this one, and click OK. Okay, and then OK. So this is the set of local path in your local system. Okay. Next, here your Python is available. Either you can directly type Python on your command prompt and enter it. See here, this is the prompt. You can practice your code here. Okay.
మీకు దొరికింది Python.
See here.
సార్ ఇన్ మై
దొరకకపోతే ఏం కాదులే. ఐడి వాడుకో.
ఓకే.
మనం ఇప్పుడు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. Yes, sir.
యా ఓకే
Okay.
సార్. యా ఓకే.
Next, if not already, if you want to practice or if you want to copy anything, already yesterday we are not copying the particular program and it is not execute in our IDE or this one, right? How to do that? So you can download the Notepad++. Okay. See here, you can download Notepad++. This one. So write your program here. I can show you how to do this. So you can go to Notepad++, download, free download is available. Go to the Google. Notepad++. Yes. Free download. Go to here. Download it. Okay.
Yes.
So about 6.5 version. At least 6.5 version you can download it. Download it. After download, you can install it. After installation, so this is available on your desktop. Now open it. You can write your code here, or directly you can copy also. Suppose if I want to copy this, copy, paste here. Okay. Control yes. Now save the file either in the desktop, or if you want to save local disk, users, and Srinivasa. So that is my path. So when you open the command prompt, automatically it shows my path. See here. This command prompt, C drive /user /Srinivasa. Right? This is my path. So first you can save where it is available. You can save directly on that path, or if you want to save any other thing, I can show you. Directly take that part and copy it and change the directory and write the and execute, interpret your program. I can show you how to do this. Now I want to save this file. So what is the extension of our Python file? Our extension of Python file is .py. So I can give this name list.py. Save. Close. It's already saved, right? See here. Where it is available? Under C /users /Srinivasa. Here, this is your Python file. Go to command prompt. This is your directory. C /users /Srinivasa. So both are same. See here. C :/users /Srinivasa. Both are same. That's why I can write here Python. So what is my file name? Module name? List dot py. So this is the output. Directly interpret the program, display the output.
Sir, I am not. I can't get that. I can't get that, sir. I am trying to.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే మీకు డైరెక్ట్ గా మీరు అక్కడ ఐడిలోకి వెళ్ళి దాని ద్వారా ప్రోగ్రామ్ మీరు ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేయొచ్చు.
అది అర్థమైంది సార్. నాకు నేను అది సేవ్ చేస్తుంటే నాకు రావట్లేదు సార్. అలా అంటే
సేవ్ చేస్తే రావట్లేదా? పాత్ ఏమన్నా డిఫరెంట్ ఉందేమో ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోండి.
డెస్క్టాప్ పెట్టాను సార్. డెస్క్టాప్ లో పైథాన్ అనే ఫోల్డర్ పెట్టాను. సో
చూడండి. See here. Close it. This is my Python file, right? Cut it. Paste on the desktop. Desktop already. My file is available on the desktop. Now I want to run this program. Go to the command from cmd, enter it. Now identify where is the file is available. Check your path. Go to local disk /users /universal, and we have a desktop here. So now the file is available here, right? This is my path. Copy it. See here. Actually, we have C://user/universal, but here C://universal/desktop. On top of the desktop, we have placed that file, Python file. Now change the directory, paste it, enter it. Now execute that program. Python. What is our file name? List.py. This is the execution of our program. So this is the third type, right? Directly you can open the IDE or that command prompt in the software, or you can go to the command prompt. Where is your path available? Where is your program is available? On our notepad. Right? Directly you can copy the program on your notepad and save it. Give the extension file of that file name. List some whatever you want, some file name .py, save it. After that, when you want to execute it, so you can compare the paths. That path and your command prompt are both are same. Directly you can write Python and give your module name, that is file name .py, enter it. Automatically display the values. Or you can copy that path and change the directory. If the paths are different, your command prompt and file space, you can change, you can apply the change directory and copy that path and enter it. Same Python and file name .py, enter it. Automatically it will display the result. This is the copy to paste, copy and paste and execute the program in our notepad. Okay. If not, see here, minimize it. I can go to the program. Now I want to execute this my IDLE. How to execute it? See here, right click on it. See here, edit with IDLE. See, this is our program. My list is equal to array, empty array. My list that append, I can add 1. My list that append, I can add 2. My list that append, I can add 3. Now I want to display the values. Print my list array of 0, my list array of 1, my list array of 2. So it will display the 1, 2, 3. Run it and click on the run module F5. So this is our Python 2.7.13. That is our IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. So directly it will display on your IDLE. Okay, this is the fourth way. You can practice whatever you want. You can copy and paste the program in your Notepad++, and you can directly execute this program in the IDLE or command prompt. Okay, these are the ways to develop the Python. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the way. So I can show you. Now I want to create one more program. See here. Already I have developed this. I can executed this program with IDLE. Run this. Run the module. Now see here. I want to print for loop for x in my list. Print x. For x, my list go to the it is not defined here. We'll define here. Okay. You can directly practice now ideally. So are you understanding these 4 ways?
Yes.
Okay. Next, I want to create one more program. Go to the new text document. Okay. Paste here. File. Save. Save as some arm.py on our desktop. Here, this is your Python file. Okay. Now right click on it. Edit with IDL. Run it. Run the code. This is your output. So if you install Notepad on your system, so directly you can copy and paste the program. You can practice and right click on it. Edit with IDL. Suppose you want to edit it. Edit with Notepad. So you can edit it. Okay. This is the way you can practice. So we have many types. So either you can practice either in ideally, in the real time we are using ID or command prompt, or you can install the Notepad and type your program and save it as a .py file extension, Python file, and directly right click on that, edit with IDL or run it. Okay. If you want to any changes, you want to change anything, see here, if you double click on it, it doesn't display anything. When you want to edit it, you can right click on that, edit with Notepad++. You can edit here. Save. Run it. After that, if you want to practice anything, you can practice. Some print.
So I tried to open that, but I didn't open edit with ideally. I directly come like.
That is not opening on your system. Have you installed that Notepad++?
Yeah.
It's working, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So these are the ways to practice this, or you can directly develop your code. Okay. Now, so what are the basic operators and what is? We'll discuss about the basics. Already up to this we are discuss this yesterday class. Now basic operators like some list. So what is list? Lists are very similar to arrays. They can contain any type of variable. So list are very similar to arrays. Array what is the array? Array is a sequence of variables which is starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Right? So lists are very similar to arrays. They can contain any type of variable and they can contain as many variables as you wish. So list can also be iterated over in very simple manner. See here, my list, array of empty. So my list dot append. Append is a method which is assigned a value to your my list. So we are assigned one, so which is stored in our my list array. My list dot append. We are assigning two to your my list. So these values are stored in your my list memory area. So my list dot append 3, which is stored in our my list. Now we want to print that values. Print my list array of 0. So in our array, see here, this is our array. In our memory management, we have an array. The values are stored like this: 1, 2, 3, and so on. Right? So array of 0. This is array of 0. This is array of 1. This is array of 2. Now you want to print my list array of 0. Here it prints 1. Here it prints 2. Here it prints 3. So when you execute this program, it will the values are display like this: 1, 2, 3. This is our output. So after applying this, if you want to see this, then type for x in my list. This is for loop iteration process in my list. Already my list having the 1, 2, 3 values. Now you want to print the text. Print text is again it will display 1, 2, 3. You can practice in your IDE or whatever you want. You can practice it. Okay. See here. My list equal to array. Next, my list dot append one. So this is indentation up to by default it accepts 4 spaces.
For append, is it a function?
Append is a function which is assigned to your my list. So already append having a argument 1. So that is assigned to my list. So now this 1 is saved in your my list array. Okay. My list dot append to here. My list dot append 3. Print. What is that? Print my list. Array of 0. entry. So that is displays 1. Suppose you want to print my list array of 1, 2. The same way print my list array of 2. Now for x, my list attacks it to for x. In operator. Now you can use in this class next further classes for x. In operator means what are the values in your memory area, in your my list memory area. So those values print total, those what are the values we have in our my list. So what are the values we have? All the values we want to print at a time. At that time, you can use the in operator. For x, in my list print x. These are the total values we have in our area, in our array. So that is 1, 2, 3. So this is where you can practice it. Okay? The same
So
way.
we are not getting the output.
హలో
Okay.
చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనం మ్యాట్లాబ్ లో ఇలా C++ ఇట్లా రాసేటప్పుడు పర్సంటేజ్ పెడితే పక్కన ఈ విధంగా అన్వాంటెడ్ కామెంట్స్ రాసుకునేది అనుకుంటారు కదా సార్. పైథాన్ లో ఏంది సార్?
పైథాన్ లో కమెంట్ హ్యాష్
ఓకే.
You can write hash and type your code comments. Okay, this is the way. ఒక్క నిమిషం, రమేష్ మాట్లాడుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఫిజు మనకి ఏం చెప్తారంటే ఏదైనా మాట్లాడితే ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాట్లాడండి, నాకు కూడా అర్థం అవుతుంది అన్నారు. So you can ask any question in
okay. And for the last one, for x in my list print x, I didn't get the output.
Okay.
Is there any need to make braces for x in the for?
Yeah. No, we are using
x
new version.
For loop, I can tell you this. We are not using still any loops or in operators. Just we are in the basic, very basics, right? So this is for loop. How to use this for loop I can tell you, and how to use these operators. First, today we'll discuss about these operators. So still we are not understanding arithmetic operators, string operators, how to append this. So many functions are there. At that time, after this, we will discuss about the loops and functions, everything. So at that time, you can clearly understand this. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Next.
Sir, I am getting an error, sir.
You are getting an error. Where? In which part?
Print expected and intended block.
Yeah, that is indentation. Maybe you are cross 4 times. By default, it accepts 4 types. If it is cross, it asking that some invalid syntax.
Okay.
Intended x, right? You can try proper way. So for x in my list colon print x.
Yes,
okay.
I use it.
But I used it like that, but I didn't get any output.
Okay. You are using MATLAB, huh?
No,
sir, Python.
Okay.
But 3.63.
it's not an issue. It will work. It works. That's why I'm telling you. If you are using 2.7 above, either you have a code in lower versions or even though 3 point something, all functions and packages and modules worked in the 2.7 point something. Okay. So in our industries, almost 90% of the companies are using 2.7 above. Okay.
Okay.
See here next. Now we want to discuss about the. So you can practice the R list. See here. Now you're accessing an index which doesn't exist. Generate an exception. See here. My list array of 1, 2, 3. Now you want to print my list array of 10. Is it possible?
No.
What is the problem?
I mean, we exceeds the limit. I mean, we give the values up to 2 only, arrays up to 2 values only, but here we are giving the array of 10.
Right. In our array, we have only
3
three
arrays.
values.
Yeah,
My list contains only 3 values. Now you are asking 10 values, which is an array index bound out of range. Array index out of range. So that is the problem. Actually, you have 3 values. You are asking 10 values. Not possible, right? If you are using 3 values, if you have a 3 values, and also you want 3 values, it will display it. Actually, you have 3 values, but you are asking 10 values. So it display an error, list index out of range. So can you practice? We will practice here. See here. Now we have my list equal to array of 1, 2, 3, 4. Print of my list. You are asking array of 10. What it says, this index out of range. Actually, you have the 4 values. Now you want to ask me 10. That's the problem. Suppose print my list array of 4. Is it displays? It is also list index out of range. What is the problem? We have the 4 values. I'm giving the 4. What is the problem?
I
3
mean,
is the last.
here it's counting from 0 to
Right. Array is counts from
0.
0 to 1, 2, 3 and so on. It's always starts from 0. That is the problem. So array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3 have 4 values. Now you are asking for this is also index out of range. Now see here. Print my list three. So we display 4. Array of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose we want to display all values. How to do this? You can give the range. Already yesterday I tell you. Print my list zero colon 1, 2, 3. Okay. Suppose if you want to see last value also, control 1, 2, 3, 4. Total values is this. This is the range. Yesterday already I said to you how to give the range in the array. Only you can give the square brackets. That is the array. When you give the particular value, array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3, those values only display. Suppose you want to display in a particular range, what are the values you want to display? Now I want to display 0 to 4. So in this range, it will display array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3. But it excludes 4. Only display 0 to 4, not display the fourth value. Okay, that is the range. See here, already we are giving the 0 to 3. Displays array of 0, 1, array of 2, array of 3. But is no, it doesn't display the array of 4. Right? See, you have your MyList array contains 4 values. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is array of 0, array of 1, array of 2. This is array of 3. So if you give only array of 3, array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3 is 4. Now you got the answer 4. So when you want to give the range, MyList 0 to 3, that is array of 0 to array of 3. So display 1, 2, 3, not 4. Why? Because it excludes. End of the value excludes. So when I give the 0 to 4 range, so fourth exclude, we have the value array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3. That's why display the 4 values. So this is the importance of arrays. So when you use the list is like nothing but like an array. See here.
It's much more like this, Pradeep Siju here. It's much more like the slice operator which we used yesterday, right?
Pardon me?
It's much more like the slice operator, right?
Right. I can tell you those slices also. So already we have a code here, right? That's why I'm giving the explanation of that. So I can tell you what is the slice, what are the appendage, what are the replace method. I can tell you everything. Okay.
Okay.
Next, you can practice this. I can give you today. You can practice this exercise. Okay. So you will need to add numbers and strings to the correct list using the append list method. You must add the numbers 1, 2, and 3 to the numbers list, and the words hello and world to the string variable. Now you will also have to fill in the variable second name with the second name in the names list using the brackets operator, that is square brackets. Note that the index is always starts from 0 base. So if you want to access the second line in the list, its index will be 1. So you can practice it. If not, I can give the solution. Okay. Now today we'll discuss about the basic operators. Okay. What are the operators we have in our regular languages? Plus, minus, multiplication, division. Right? These are the arithmetic operators. So what are the arithmetic operators we have? Plus, minus, multiplication, division, and comparison operators. We have the comparison operator. What are the comparison operators we have? Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and operators. So many operators are there. Right? See here, in our numbers, just as any other programming language, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division operators can be used with the numbers. The numbers that is equal to 1 plus 2 into some 3 divided by 4.0. Print the number. It will display the output 2.5. So already how to calculate this? If you want to calculate manually, how to calculate it? So You forgot it. So find out the solution. 1 plus 2 into 3 divided by 4.0. How to calculate it?
Division
First division.
BODMAS rule.
First, BODMAS rule. Bracket of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Right? First we'll go to bracket. Is there any brackets here? No. Of? No. Division. Yeah, we have a division. 3 by 4. So what is the 3 by 4?
0.725. 0.75.
5 something,
0.75.
0.7 something. Okay. Into 2. What is that?
1.4.
1.4. 1 plus 1.4. Almost 2.4 something. Right? Almost if you, 0.4 above 5. After 0.5 we will take 2.5 value. Right?
Yeah.
2.5. So this is the value to calculate in manually. So in the same way, automatically calculate in our software, in our Python, automatically calculate this. This also follows this rule, BODMAS. Okay, this is the way. Next, another operation available is the modulo operator, which returns the integer remainder of the division. This is divided by the divisor is equal to remainder. So what is the remainder is equal to 11 divided 11 modulo 3? 3 3s.
2.
How much?
2.
9. So what is the remainder? 2. So this is the output. Next, suppose if you want to apply squares, how can you apply squares? Just you can write the value and 2 times asterisk. 3 into 3 into 3, suppose. How much value? 3 into 3 into 3?
27.
27. So to display like this. Suppose 5. 5 into 5. What is 5 into 5 into 5 into 5? 5 times. 5 into 5, 25. 25 into 5, 125. 125 into 5. How much? 625. Huh? So 625 into 5. You have 3125. This is the squares. Cubes. How to calculate cube? Same way. Now on to apply the cube. 2 cube. What is 2 cube? 2 into 2 into 2. 2 to 4, 4 into 2, 8. Suppose 5 cube. 5, apply 3 asterisk 3, 5 cube. 5 into 5 into 5, 125. So this is the way. So you can also call it as Python is like a calculator. See, Python also supports multiplying the strings to form a string with repeating sequence. See here, lots of hellos is equal to hello into 10. Print lots of hellos to display like this. What is it? Lots of hello is equal to type your string hello into 10 times. Print lots of hello. So total it will print 10 times. Total 10 times. Okay. This is the way you can print even for string also. So Python also support multiplying the strings to form string with a repeating sequence. It will display like this. Next, using the operators with list. Already we are discussing about list here. So how to use the operators in the list. So list can be joined with the addition operators. So we have an even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. We have an odd numbers array of 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7. All numbers is equal to odd numbers plus even numbers. Print all numbers. It will display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So you can practice it. Can I do this? You can practice. You can practice it. Okay. Next, just as in strings, Python support forming new list with a repeating sequence using the multiplication operator. How to do this? Print 1, 2, 3 into 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, again 1, 2, 3. If you write like this, display 3 times 1, 2, 3. Just as in strings, Python supports forming new lists with a repeating sequence using the multiplication operator. Try here. Print. One forward, 2 forward, 3. Multiplication of 4. See here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and again 1, 2, 3. Like our strings. Already we have practiced this one. Lots of hello. That is equal to hello into 10. When you print it, it will display total 10 strings, 10 times hello string. In the same way, this one numericals also. Okay, so you can practice this exercise.
Sir, ready?
Create. Yeah.
One doubt. So, are we allowed to give strings in the list?
Hello, అర్థం కాలేదు.
Are we allowed to give strings in the list? Means we will use brackets, right? Are we allowed to use ఇక్కడ ఈవెన్ నెంబర్స్ అంటే 2, 4, 6, 8 అని ఉన్నాయి కదా అక్కడ ఒకవేళ అక్కడ నేమ్స్ ఏమన్నా ఇవ్వచ్చా అక్కడ? సో
నేమ్స్ అంటే ఇండివిడ్యువల్ గా స్ట్రింగ్స్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎన్క్లోజ్ విత్ కొటేషన్స్.
ఎస్, కొటేషన్స్ ఇచ్చి ఇవ్వచ్చా అంటే లిస్ట్ లో స్ట్రింగ్స్ ఎంటర్ చేయొచ్చా అని?
ఎంటర్
చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే సార్, ఓకే. అంటే ఇప్పుడే నేను చెక్ చేశాను, ఇట్స్ వర్క్ అయ్యింది అందుకని.
నెక్స్ట్, string formatting. How to format your strings? We'll discuss about this. Before that, we will practice so many numerical problems here. See here. Now, suppose if I want to apply 50 minus 5 into 6, how much?
20.
So first it will calculate 5 into 6, 30, 550 minus 30, 20. Suppose if I want to calculate in the same way, 50 minus 5 into 6 divided by 4. How much value it will display? How much will it display?
43.5.
43 something, right? Actually here the point values are not displayed. Why? Because we are not giving either it is integer or float, right? That's why it doesn't display. only we are giving the integers, that's why it display only integer values. So it display like this. Suppose if I give 50 minus 5 into 6. Divided by 4. How much value it displays?
5.
5. Why? Because we are using BODMAS rule, bracket. First, you can calculate in the bracket value. 50 minus 5 into 6. 5 into 6. 5 into 6, 30. 50 minus 30, 20. 20 by 4, 5. So that is the value. Next. So integer numbers are 2, 4, 20, something. Integer numbers. So you can type int. But we are not giving any data type in our Python. Just you can give the variable name and variable value. So what are the fractional values? What are the fractional values? 1.1 or 2.6 or 3.6 or 5.6, any fractional values. That is, we have a floating type values. Those are floating type values, right? So how to write those things? Suppose if you give integer and integer, they directly display the integer values. Already we have seen here 50 minus 5.6 divided by 4, all are integer values, display the integer. Suppose if I give some 17 divided by 3.0. So 17 is integer, 3.0 is a floating point. Now, which value displays floating value or integer value? Displays floating value, 5.666 something. So we are not giving any data types here, just we are giving the values. If you give integers, integer by integer, integer plus integer, the display integers. Suppose if you give floating points, either integer by floating or floating to any other things, or obviously display the floating value. Okay. Suppose I'm assigning some values to the variables. How to assign the values? Assigning values. Now I want to assign a value to a particular variable. Already yesterday I said to you how to assign the variable to the variable. How to assign the value to the variable? Suppose, see here, width is equal to some 20. So 20 is a numerical value. It is assigned to variable that is named, that's name is width. So 20 is assigned to width. So where these 20 is stored? 20 is stored in our width. Okay. Now height. Height is equal to 5 into 9. Now what is the 5 into 9? 45. So our height is 45. Right? So 45 is assigned to height. So now if 45 is stored under our height memory. So 20 is stored in our width memory. So 20 is stored in the width, 5.9, that's 45 is stored in the height. So this is the assignment. So when you want to assign a value, you can use single equal to. Okay, 20 is assigned to width, 5.9 is assigned to height. Now I want to display the value width into height. What is the value?
900.
Width into height equal, that is 900 feet. Suppose if a variable is not defined, that means we are not assigning a value to the variable. The variable is not defined. So what is the problem? If you try to, you are not assign a value. If you try it, how will you get? it is not defined. See here, suppose I will take width.
into length.
I'm not assigning any value, just enter it. Already we are defined it, we are taking another value. Already the width is stored in our memory area, already which contains 20. I can take another thing, some thin. See here, name thin is not defined, or enter A. A is not defined, or enter B. B is not defined. Okay, X. Already X value is stored in our memory, that is this place. Already X value have 1, 2, 3 something. Okay, so K is not defined. So you are not assign any value to that variable. So when you enter it, it doesn't have any value. It is which is not defined. Okay. Suppose if I want to calculate, see here, 3 into 3.5 divided by 1.5. How much value it displays? 3 into 3.5 by 1.5. First it calculates 3.5 by 1.5. What are the value you have? That is multiply into 3. Multiply some 3.5 divided by 1. So that is we got a value 7 point something, 7.0, right? 7.0 by 2 is how much?
3.5.
3.5. So in an interactive mode, the last printed expression is assigned to the variable. See here, observe here. In an interactive mode, the last printed expression is assigned to the variable. You can use underscore. This means that when you are using the Python as a desk calculator, it is somewhat easier to continue calculations. For example, see here, tax is equal to, that is 12.5%, or GST, some 12.5% or 18%, whatever it is, 12.5% divided by 100. This is the tax. Now, what is the price? What is the price value? Price value is
100.
100 or 100 and something. I want to give some floating points. 150 paisa. Okay, 150. So you are applying the tax is 12.5%. Now, how much tax will I get per 100? 12.5 rupees, right? See here, tax into price. How much we got? 12.5625. Per 100 we got that much of tax per 100. Now see here, I want to add this price to my, I want to add this tax to my price. So what is the total amount? Actually, if you buy one article 100.5, so they are applying the tax 12.5%. Total, what is the total amount? 100.5 plus 12.5625. Total 112 point or 113 point something. Right? How can you do that? Already we are calculating the tax price. Now we want to assign that value to your price. What I said to you, you can use underscore. See here, price plus underscore. Enter it. So what is the total value? 113.0625. So if you want to add previous calculations to your new value, you can just enter underscore price plus or price multiplication or whatever you want. If you want to add previous calculations to new value, you can apply the underscore. So this underscore means this is the previous calculation. What is our previous calculation? Tax into price. So that value is added to your price. Total value is 113.0625. Now I want to round the price. So I want to round the price. Now I want to give 113. How to apply it? Round off. Previous calculation is 113. Now I want to apply underscore, comma, round the value. How many digits we have? 0625. Round the value, either 2 or 3, whatever you want. See here, 113.06. Suppose if I give round the value 0, round underscore, comma, 0. So it will display 113. So when you want to add the previous calculations to your new value, just you can apply underscore. So are you understanding this? Okay.
So Pradeep, CG here. I have
Yeah.
so my question is, when you are rounding here on the first side till the second point, so the indexing does not work here. So you're telling us till 2 means 0.062, or how it should be?
Yeah, if you give 2, it will display up to 2 decimals. If you give 1, it will display up to 1 decimal. If you give 3, it will display up to 3 decimals.
So what I was asking is, usually when we reference for other functionals, there is usually indexing, right? For example, if you take the list, you have 0, 1, 2, 3. So while rounding, you don't have that process of considering the 0th position.
So we have a 113.123, right?
Yep.
For example, take 1, 2, 3, 4.
I understand. What I was asking is, when we were studying the list, you have my list equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, where 1 is our 0th position, 2 is our first position, 3 is our third position, and 4 is our third position. So similarly, when we are rounding this particular number, 113.0625, when we round it, you put 2, so your after the decimal point will not consider 0, or it just starts from 1.
So you are asking if I give 2 here, right?
Yeah.
What will happen? So when I give that 2 here, it will take up to 2 decimals.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I understand this. What I was asking is, here you don't have any sort of indexing, like 0th position. So if it was in the list case, if you have put a value 2, it should have gone till 6.2, right?
Actually, in our calculations, if you go to any store or any retail stores, they will reduce the fraction values, right? Now I want to give the bill. They will reduce the fraction values. Suppose if you cross the 0.5, they will suppose we have a 1.5. Obviously, they will take 115 rupees or $115, right? In our stores. Suppose your value is 1114.4 also. They will take rounding the value $114. So they are not considering this after 0.5. So after point you have a greater than 5. They will take upper value. So if you have a less than 5 after find, they will take lower value. So we'll write that calculation in our programming. So they will rounding the value. They won't take, if you cross 0.5, they will charge the upper value, $115. We have a less than 5 after point. They won't charge that value, only they will give lower value. So we'll write like this. Even though if you go to any medical shop, anywhere, they will take like this only. Suppose if you give any cards, they will take total amount 114.5 or 114.32, whatever it is. If you give like a cash, if you give cash, they won't take maximum. They won't take total 114.5 something. They will give you reduction. They will reduce. They will round the values. Okay. Are you understanding?
Yep.
So this is the way. If you go to any retail stores or if you buy any in the real world. So many things are doing medical practice in our India, in my India. If you go to any medical shop, suppose if you are in any strip, that cost is 130.256 or even though 130.48 also, they won't take this 0.48 paisa. They will take 130. Suppose if 130.51, they will charge 131. Round the value when you give the cash. If you give the cards, they will charge total amount, exact amount. So that's why some of the bills, when they are paid the taxes, they are rounding the values. So they paid the taxes, these round values only. Okay. So now we are discussing about the strings. So numericals, almost we will cover all the numerical values, how to apply this. Now we will discuss strings. What are the types of strings we have? Already yesterday we are discussing about some basic strings. Now we are applying string formats. What are the strings we have? So Python uses like our C style string formatting to create new formatted strings. So the percent operator is used to format a set of variables enclosed in a tuple, a fixed size list, together with a format string. So which contains normal text together with argument specifiers, as special symbols like %s and %d. So let us say you have a variable called name with your username in it, and you would then like to print out. See here, this print out, hello John. Your name is John. Print hello %s, and within the quotations you can type your string within the enclosed quotes. You can type hello. After that you can type the %, and you are defined John is assigned to name. So when you print it, hello, it display hello John. So you are using %s or %d like this. So argument specifier, we are call it as argument specifiers. Okay. To use two or more argument specifiers, use a tuple, a parenthesis. See here, our name is John. John is assigned to name. Age is 23 is assigned to age. Now you want to print %s is %d years old. So within the quotes. After that, percentage of within the parentheses, when you have more number of argument specifiers, so you can give name and age within the parentheses. So when you print it, now John is 23 years old, which is display like this. Okay. So any object which is not a string can be formatted using the %s operator as well. This is the string which returns from the REPR method of that object is formatted as a string. See here, we have a my list 1, 2, 3. Print A is A list percentage of my list. That means we can call it as my list is A list percentage of what is my list 1 2 3. Now it display a list 1 2 3. Try here. Already we are defining my list. Now I can call it as print. So already these values are stored in our memory area. That's why I can call directly my list. My list print of within quotations a list percentages. Of percentage my list. See here, a list is 1 2 3 4. Already the my list is available, which is in our memory area, cache memory. That's why it displays. Okay, so when you exit it, those values are automatically garbage, automatically deleted from your cache memory. So before closing that, all the values, what are the values have you type here? All values are stored in our cache memory. So that's why I can directly call this my list. Already my list we are using in earlier time. We are not exit from our IDE. So already these values are available in our cache memory. That's why directly I can call those my list array. So that now it is. Okay, if you exit it, if you are exit, those values are not available, which are garbage, which are removed from your cache memory. If you want to save it, you can save this file, like your own name. Okay.
Pradeep,
Save programs also can save and in our code area. Okay.
Pradeep,
Yeah, చెప్పండి.
percentage has is used for strings and D is used for numerical values.
Right. Percentage is for string. Percentage D for numerical values.
Okay, integers.
See, a percentage is string or any object with a string representation. Percentage is for integers. Percentage F for floating point numbers. This is percentage, number of digits. F is floating point numbers with a fixed amount of digits to the right of the dot. Percentage dot. Okay. Percentage X divided by percentage X. Integer in X representation, either lowercase or uppercase. So your exercise is you will need to write a format string which prints out the data using the syntax. Hello John Doe, your current balance is. You can practice it. Okay. So what are the different types of strings? We'll discuss about these different types of strings. What are the different types? Replace and slice, upper cases, and we can use lower cases, and we can join the strings. So we have different types. We'll explain tomorrow. So already I said to you yesterday, we can use bracket, slice it, use the letter from the given index. See here, suppose we have an example, array of 1 will give u from the word. So array of 1 means here as array of 0, array of 1 are here. So if you apply array of 1 will give r from the word free. Array of 0 s, array of 1 r, array of 2 I. As such, so x is equal to 3. Print x array of 1 is, it will display r. Right? Same way, in the range, slice it gives the characters. x is equal to x array of 1, 2, 3. Already I said to you. So 3 is omitted. Array of 1, array of 2, array of 3 values displays. Next, in operator we will discuss next class. Not in operator or by capital R. In means membership returns whether it is true if a letter exists in the given string. Display like this. Not in membership returns true if a letter exists is not in the given string. So we'll use next classes these values. Percentage use, percentage R, a percentage yes. Already we are discussing about this. Percentage yes, it insert the presentation string representation of the object. Percentage is integers, percentage of floating points. Next class is a concatenation. You can apply, you can concatenate two strings. Multiplication, asterisk simply is repeat the values. Already we are applying. Repeat the values. Repeat values means already we are practice the, see here, lots of hellos. Lots of hello into 10. Obviously, when you print it, 10 times hello is displayed, right? That is the use. Repeat the value, even though numerical values. Here 1, 2, 3, array of 1, 2, 3 into 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So now we want to discuss about this in and not in or where these values. So we will discuss tomorrow remaining things. Okay. So up to this I can share you and you can practice it. Okay. So if you have any doubts, ask me. I can explain. Ramesh?
Yeah.
So what I am doing is basics are very important. So these basic skills. If you are understanding basic skills, you can easily write your programs, either statistical or probability or linear algebra or machine learning also. If you are not understanding basics, you cannot write those programs. Those are advanced programs, machine learning programs and probability these values. If you are understanding completely how to use the strings, how to use the numericals, how to apply these loops and how to apply the conditions, how to apply the modules, how to write a program, like you can use the class and you can apply some OOPS concepts, how to use this. When you familiar with these basic concepts, you can easily write those programs. That's why in these basics, I can tell you clearly and elaborately. Each and every point I will touch. Okay. At that time, you can easily write your own programs in your real time. So you can understand these things. So I can explain you each and every pin to pin, end to end points. Okay. So in the basics, I can take so much time. It's not a problem. If you understand this, you can easily write our remaining programs very fast. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
So today we will wind up. Tomorrow we will start remaining parts. Okay. String, different types of strings. After that, floating remaining. What we have remaining things. The string formatting, different type of strings. That is join, replace, and some other thing. Append, concatenation. After that, we will go to the conditions, conditional operators. What are the conditional operators we have? Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, are Boolean operators. We will discuss tomorrow. In operator, not in operator, is operator. After that, we will go to loops, for loop, while loop, do while loop, okay, different things. First, we will complete these basics. After that, only we will go to that part. Okay. So tomorrow we will start same time 4 o'clock. Sisu, have you got any doubts?
No, I'm good, Pradeep. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. Okay.